The past week has been about asking for flexibility without guilt, something I'm not very good at. It's also been about returning to spaces that I genuinely thought I'd missed out on. It's been about context and really recognizing that context matters, especially when you're interpreting yourself. There's been lessons in protecting your gifts because we all have them and they all need to be protected. There's been a few things about perspective and I guess just conversations that kind of went on for way too long, but absolutely enjoyed it. So I'm Amit Tijani. This is the Weekly Unfold, my space to really look at the asks, the failures, the reminders, the gratitude and the thanks that have navigated my past week. Let's get into it. This week's ask might sound like a simple one, but it was simply to ask, can we change the date? Not an easy ask for me to make. And I know it doesn't sound huge, but for me, actually, it's different. I hate last minute changes and I also hate disappointing people. And I say hate because I genuinely don't like doing it. I had plans for today, Sunday, early morning, and as I was getting into like my Saturday, I realized Saturday was going to end up being a really late night. And so I realized that I wouldn't show up as my best self on Sunday. And so I asked the person that I was meeting if we could change it, and they were fine with it. And I know it sounds like really simple, but sometimes there's this kind of like, am I going to disappoint them? Did they really need to meet on Sunday because of XYZ? I don't know. All these ideas that I'm making up in my head. They said yes, we've moved it to tomorrow evening. I guess my relief of the situation told me everything that I needed to know. Like my body literally like, okay, it's going to be all good. So yeah, simple ask, but necessary ask. Embarrassment doesn't have to mean exclusion, I guess. That kind of works. So earlier this year, I was offered a place on a short course in civic design at UCL. And I was offered it because I'm like a local resident and my local kind of like space area is going to be one of the places that they're focusing on during the course. And they wanted to get some local perspective. Great. Really excited to be able to get onto this short course. Usually costs, I can't remember the cost, but you know, I got a free place on the course. I missed the first few sessions because life was life in and the start of the year was a little rougher than I expected it to be. I just quietly decided that, you know, I've missed my chance. It's fine. I'll just not do it for the rest of the however many weeks there are. However, what I didn't expect is someone from the smaller group that I'd kind of been assigned to, a guy named Joe, reaching out just to check if I was okay because he realised I was in the group but I just hadn't been around. And I admitted to him that honestly I was just embarrassed because I didn't join the first couple. I didn't really know how to access all the different bits. I just felt embarrassed and he was so gracious. So a massive shout out to Joe. He just told me not to be embarrassed. First of all, like it is a bit complicated, but then also copied in everyone else that's in our group, and we're just gonna keep like the conversation going. And guess what? I'm gonna join next week because now I know where to join, how to join, and all the rest of it. So I guess there's just something about recognizing that sometimes the door isn't actually closed. We might just have stepped back from it. Like the door was wide open. I took a massive step and was like, not going through. Protect your gift. I attended a really special screening of Sinners and it had a Q&A at the end of the film with Wumi Masaku and Delroy Lindo, I think his name is. Oh, sorry guys if I got it wrong. But Wumi said something that just landed so deeply with me around protecting the gifts that we have. She said something like, remember where you're from, remember what it is that you're doing and how it will reverberate in the future. And I don't know why, but it just landed with me. There's something about protection of self, protection of purpose, protection of impact that is easy to forget when we're kind of living the the life that we're living and just navigating all the challenges that we have to navigate. So yeah, just protect your gifts, whatever the gift may be, because it reverberates into the future. The future you wants you and needs you to protect it. Protect your gift, people. Context is everything. So I completed a personality psychometric type of test recently, and the results came in, and to be honest, they were quite interesting. But I had to remember that context is everything. When I did the test, I admittedly was very rushed because I was supposed to do it earlier and I hadn't, so I was rushing through it. I was tired. I was coming off of like a pretty stressful, not even coming off, I was still in the midst of like a pretty stressful period at the start of the year. And so the results are the results, but I guess it's a reminder that context matters, and the results, for example, in this instance, don't exist in a vacuum, and neither do we as human beings. There's so many other things that we have to remember that give some context to a situation, to a result, to whatever it might be. So yeah, just context is important. I am feeling grateful and thankful for perspective on privilege. And I say that because as a black Muslim woman, there are certain aspects in life that mean that I'm at a disadvantage, right? But there are also certain aspects rather, where I am at an advantage. Now, a lot of people don't really know this, but I have a bit of a complex about wearing glasses. My eyes are in such a state that I can't not wear glasses a lot of the time. However, I went to the ADC in the Google office, and accessibility. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it there because my words aren't wording today. I went to the space, and it reminded me that the vision that I do have is so much more than so many other people around the world. So whilst I might have a complex about the fact that, I don't have 20/20 vision, and the fact that my vision deteriorated quite a lot in a certain period of life for reasons that we won't get into, I still have vision. There are many people in the world that don't have the level of vision that I do. So perspective is, I guess, what I'm thankful for in this moment, just realizing the privilege that I have in certain spaces. Super thankful for the opportunity to learn about how other people observe Ramadan around the world. So we had a really interesting session at work where different people came in and shared how they celebrate. Not actually, that's wrong. They didn't talk about how they celebrate Eid. They spoke about how they observe Ramadan, in particular, how they break their fast. And it was just really interesting to learn how different people do it, what different foods are involved, what different spices are really key, and even having like different people from the same country but different parts of a country, seeing how there are nuances to how people do iftar. It was really interesting. I really enjoyed the session. So just grateful for, I guess, my expanded knowledge and understanding beyond my own experience and how I do it. So yeah. Conversations that stretch over time. I think I mentioned last week, it was my ask last week if I could help someone with something, and I thought a conversation was going to be like 45 minutes. We ended up chatting for over half an hour. The person in question is Shay Omunijo or Omunijo. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but Shay's amazing. She's an academic, and that's how she introduces herself. Like, she's an academic, but she's actually so much more. And her space is like the humanities, and she has this thing about the importance of critical thinking in the age of AI. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I love all things personal development, emotional intelligence, like human skills, and I genuinely think that being able to think critically and think for yourself is such an important skill to have in this age of AI. So it was great to be able to chat to her and chat through some ideas. I thought the conversation was going to be like, 45 minutes, we're done. Honestly, like an hour and a half later, almost 2 hours, we're still going. So yeah, she's lovely, and you should check out her YouTube channel and the work that she's doing around the conversation of human skills being important and critical thinking skills in particular being super important. So double down and check her work out. Actually, I think I saw something the other day, or like 2 days ago, a day ago maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I saw something about, I think it was the co-founder of Anthropic also mentioning the fact that critical thinking skills are really key. And that's saying something if one of the biggest people in AI is saying that. So yeah, shout out to Shay. She's amazing. She has great ideas. I can't wait to see what the rest of this year has in store for her. Yeah, I guess it's just, there's proof that curiosity still matters. Be curious, people. Be curious. It's week 7 of 52, and last week I said that I'm going to return some of my old ways. So far so good, you know. There's still a few things I need to do, but yeah, so far so good. Looking into the week ahead, there are people that I need to reach out to that, yeah, I need to, and people, messages that I need to reply to. I'm going to try and focus on doing that. I think that's it. Like, it's going to be quite a busy week work-wise. I'm just going to keep coasting through it all, navigating and riding the waves. Sorry, this is me riding the waves. And yeah, that's it. So, as always, thanks for watching, guys and girls. It's great to have you here. I am going to, I'm about to head off and do some bits, but thank you for watching. As always, stay out of trouble unless it's good trouble, in which case, go wild. I'll see you next time. Bye.